Hold up. Let's go. We're live. Yo, what is good? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, IG, TikTok. What's popping? It's your boy. Let's get it. Coming at you guys with another fire stream. As always, you know the vibes. So I'm not going to waste anyone's time. Also, because I have a couple things that I got to take care of still. So, with that being said, let's get tonight's podcast episode rolling in 3, 2, 1. Boom. What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. Let's freaking get it. It's your boy, Coach Sal, back with another fucking vibe. Let's do it. So in today's episode, going to be talking about why you're not toning up. Ladies, please listen to me really quick when I say this, okay? The reason that you are not toning up and seeing progress in your fitness journey is because you haven't been consistent enough. Now, hear me out for a second. We want results now. I understand that. Like, personally, I want to grow a gorilla chest in fucking 2 weeks, but it just doesn't work like that. And oftentimes we understand that, but we're reluctant to accept that. So the question that I'm trying to really understand is why, right? So if you're struggling in any way, I think the important thing to really zoom out and focus on is your daily habits. So I want you guys to ask yourself this question honestly. Can you say that you're giving 1,000% to your goals, your whatever you're trying to accomplish? Let's even take fitness out of it for a second, right? I mean, we're talking about toning up, building muscle, losing weight, but at the same time, this principle also applies to life as well, right? Like, if you zoom out and you really take an honest look at your daily habits, can you say you're giving 1,000% to what you're doing? And then when you come at it from that perspective, you can honestly audit your daily practices and your habits a little bit more. And then from that perspective and that mindset, you could say, all right, well, maybe I need a little work here. Maybe my nutrition could be a little bit better. Maybe my sleep could be optimized in a better manner. Even if it's at work, could I be doing a better job? Can I be a better partner? Can I be a better friend, a better listener, right? And I think it's just important to take some time and reflect and ask yourself these questions consistently if you want real results, real progression, right? Like real change, like actually taking the time to sit there, reflect on your habits, and ask yourself these questions honestly. Because I think if you do that, right, like you take an honest look at yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself these questions, you will find the answer. But I think oftentimes many of us are reluctant to do that, myself included at times. I think I'm like, oh, I'm working so hard. I'm doing this and that. But there's always ways to optimize it. There's always ways to be better. And that's why I've fallen in love with the process of fitness, because there's so many different variables when it comes to training, digestion, sleep, nutrition, supplementation, all these things. And there's a lot of different variables that go into it, right? So that's something that I really like to almost look at as a challenge. Well, if something is struggling here, right, and this is not working for me, well, then maybe I need to adjust it. And then you adjust it and then you see a change, then it gets exciting, right? Then you stack on that. And then all of a sudden, in a few weeks and months, all of those things that you might have been struggling with are now things that you are thriving on. And then that process in itself really becomes enjoyable because you start to see the change and the results and the progression. And then that process becomes addicting the more that you see that. And then that's really where I've gotten to the last couple of years. And that's my goal as a coach, is to help other people get there. And I say that frequently, but I genuinely mean that, because I don't believe there's any separation from me or you guys who are watching or listening to this. There is no separation. It's your daily habits, which is a choice, which you always have the power to control. But understanding that can be difficult at times. It can almost feel like you're forcing it at times. Do you resonate with that at all? Does that make sense? Is that clear? Right? Like, I've been one to struggle with that. So ask yourself, how's your sleep? What about your hydration, your protein intake? Training intensity, that's a huge variable, because oftentimes we believe that showing up in itself is doing enough, where yes, it's great to make sure that you're putting in the effort consistently, but if you're stagnant and hitting a plateau, ask yourself, am I training hard enough? And the thing is that even if you have to ask yourself that question, I'd venture to say that you probably are not training that hard enough, right? Like, I could use my contest prep right now as I prep for the show as an example. I know that every single time I walk into the gym, I'm giving it 1,000% and I'm doing everything that I fucking can do. Why? Because I want to go on that stage and say I left it all on the table. So right now I'm in the process of making sure that I'm doing every single thing to a T. Why? So I can go up there with conviction and say, hey, I gave my best effort. I could live with the result. Because in the past, I haven't always done that. I haven't always been that guy. I haven't always chosen to live that way. And that's what I'm really trying to get across here. Does that make sense? Are you guys resonating with this? Okay, can you relate to this in any level? If so, drop it in the comments. Let me know. As always, feedback is encouraged here on our podcast, on these live streams. The more we can engage with you guys, the better. Really do appreciate it as always. So want to keep this rolling because I am short on time, right? So with that being said, to keep this going, oftentimes we try and complicate things, right? Oftentimes we try to seek that quick fix and rush the process, right? But you need to have faith in that. You can't fake the process. Real sustainable change does not happen overnight. It's not something that can happen at the snap of a finger. We all want it that way. Myself too. I wish I could look like Phil Heath in a week. Is that going to happen? No. Is that realistic for me to expect that? Absolutely not. So that's the thing, is that we have to understand that shifting our mindset on that is going to make all the difference, especially long term. So I think the key principle to really focus on here is doubling down on what works, right? Like if you give 1,000% consistently to those different areas, like your strength training, daily steps, optimizing nutrition, sleeping patterns, all those things, you're giving 1,000% to that for weeks, months, years at a time. There's really no reason that you can't see results. I think oftentimes, though, we try to really complicate it, right? We try to find the excuses to justify as to why we're not seeing the result. But in reality, you know damn well whether or not you're working hard enough. And the thing is, what I've seen a lot, right? Like you cannot complain that you don't have a certain result if you're not willing to do the work that's required for that. And I understand that it's not for everybody because it is difficult and it takes a lot of time, work, sacrifice, discipline, all these tools, right? But I think the more that you can develop that skill set, because it is a skill set, it's something that can be improved upon. It's something that we can work on and develop, because I haven't always been that way. I haven't always been that guy. I think it's easy to maybe come to the page that we have, whatever platform you're watching this on, and say, hey, this guy has it all figured out. He has all this shit going on. But the sad truth, the reality of the situation is that I don't. And that's the purpose of these streams and these podcasts, is to bridge that gap for you guys. Is to say, hey, I haven't always been that fucking guy. I used to struggle. I used to be overweight. I had poor eating habits. I had a lot of things that held me back in the past. And I've been able to almost break free of that in a sense. And that's the goal here, is to light the path for you guys, is to show you that it's possible, because it is. I genuinely believe that it's possible for every single person on this planet. The problem is that you don't believe that. And the question I want to continue asking is why? And if we take that time to dissect that a little bit and zoom out and audit your daily habits, oftentimes we could fix those variables and make the change that we need. That's how you see progression. That's how you see results in whatever aspect you want to apply this to. And that's another reason why I love fitness so much, is because these core principles apply to so many different things in life. Like we're not just talking about, hey, I want to eat some chicken and put on some muscle. Like what type of person do you want to be? How do you want to act? Right? Like, how do you want others to speak about you when you leave the room? That's something that oh my God, that sticks with me so heavily. Not to say that I live my life to appease other people, because I don't. But at the same token, there's often times where I do certain things because I want to leave a certain impression on certain people. Like I want to be the guy that people talk about when I leave the room in a positive manner. Like, wow, he's really confident and inspiring and all these things. And I really learned something from him. Like I always am trying to be that guy. Why? Because I feel like I'm capable of doing so. And that's the thing here, is that you guys are capable of doing the same thing. You just have to believe that. And that belief is created by keeping the promises that you make to yourself on a daily basis. There's nothing stopping you other than your mindset and your own beliefs, and those can change. But it takes time, work, discipline. But the thing is that it is fucking possible. So if you're watching this and you're listening to this and you're struggling in any capacity, I need you to know that there is hope. You can change. There's nothing in your way other than yourself. And when you recognize that and you truly believe that, you can literally change your entire life. And it's amazing because I had a few clients reach out to me this week and send me long voice notes. And I can get emotional thinking about it because the words that they said, you know, like they were like, yo, you changed my fucking life. Like I'm getting the chills thinking about it. Like they're like, I'm not the same person. I don't act the same way. I don't view myself in the same manner. And to think that I could have an impact like that on someone's life time and time again, like I genuinely believe I'm able to make an impact on the world. Like I believe that to my core, which is why I continue to show up in spite of the criticism and adversity and all the doubt that I deal with on a daily basis, because that's also something that I struggle with as well. And that's the thing. I'm transparent with that. You know, I'm a regular human being just like any other fucking people. So if you come to my page and you think I got everything figured out, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. I battle my own mind on a daily fucking basis. I struggle immensely with all kinds of things. And that's the fucking thing. That's why I like being vulnerable on my page. You know, it's like liberating in a sense, because my whole life I was almost reluctant to do that. You know, I was afraid to voice my struggles, where now I feel like it's an opportunity for me to help other people work through that, especially over the last few years. You know, like there's been a lot of things that have gone on in the world, right? We could all agree with that. And, you know, there could be some struggles that you've developed over the last few years. So I almost look at it as my responsibility to try and help other people, because I haven't always been that way. I literally cannot stress that enough. So I want to keep this rolling here as we wrap up. And there goes the freaking podcast. There it is. There it is. Let's go, baby. So yeah, like as far as like toning up and losing weight, I got a little bit of a tangent there. But there's really no reason that you can't see results or change. It's really belief in yourself, and that's created. You know, that's by getting up at the time you said you were going to, by not hitting snooze, by making your bed, by doing some form of self-care. It doesn't always have to be exercise, right? Like I understand that I'm a fitness coach and I'm a trainer and this and that, but it doesn't always have to be, oh, I need to be in the fucking gym, or, you know, I'm not seeing change in my life. You know, it could literally be as simple as just choosing better options with your food on a consistent basis. That's a win. That's a win. Why can't we celebrate that a little bit more? Why can't we appreciate that a little bit more? Why does it have to be everything needs to be perfect in order for me to see results? It doesn't. I used to be that way. I used to be that guy thinking that everything had to be perfect in order to see results. I remember I could flash back to 2017. You know, before that summer, I was really working out hard, and then I broke my ankle playing basketball. And I was like, fuck, well, then I can't really work out, so I might as well just eat a bunch of cheeseburgers and drink beer and sit on my ass and blame the circumstances as to why I'm not where I want to be. And that happened one time. I broke my ankle multiple times. So I think the second time that I broke my ankle, I actually decided to say, fuck it. I'm going to go to the gym in a walking boot on crutches. And you could ask the managers at Blink Fitness in Long Island, New York, where I used to train. And I did that. I would go to the gym on crutches. You could ask my friend Taylor Siclari, actually. You could go on my Instagram and search him up. You could DM him. And he would drive me he would pick me up at my house. He would drive me to the gym. I have my crutches, and I would go work out in a walking boot, and I would do upper body. Yeah, I couldn't train legs, but I didn't use that as an excuse to say, hey, I can't do what I need to. And in the past, I used to do that. So that's the fucking thing. Like, it really is all a mindset, guys. And I can't stress that enough. It's because that's the separation that I've seen with a lot of, you know, clients who've gotten great results and those who continue to struggle. It's the belief in themselves, and it's the way that they view their own capabilities. And that can change. It can, I know for a fact, because even just a couple years ago, I was not that dude at all. You know, like for those who have maybe followed me for a little bit, I've made a few video posts flashing back to my old self. Even 2019, I was like 250 pounds. I was extremely overweight. Extremely overweight. And there's a picture of me in a bathing suit with a, you know, 4th of July pattern on it, drinking a Corona, looking like absolute shit. And if 2.5 years go by and I'm a completely different dude, why can't you? I think just oftentimes we're reluctant to really lean into that process and have faith and continue to show up, especially on the days you don't feel like it. I think that's another key component here too, is showing up consistently, even though you don't want to do it. I think probably 60, maybe like 70% of the time, I don't feel like doing the shit I have to do, but I show up anyway. Why? Because I know that's what it's going to take in order for me to achieve my goals. So why can't you do the same thing? Now, I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme and be so over the top and, do a contest prep and hop on stage. I'm not saying that. Everyone's different. I understand that you guys have different goals, but the reality of the situation is I see so many people who write themselves off, who say I can't do it, who say I can't change, and they program themselves to believe this certain story when it's just not true. It's the things that you tell yourself that are the most important. And you can change that dialogue just by keeping the promises that you make to yourself on a daily basis. So I challenge you, if you're listening to this on the replay, if you're here with me live, I appreciate the hell out of you, but I'm going to challenge you right now. I challenge you to keep the promises that you make to yourself for the next week. If you said you're going to get up at 7 a.m. and hit the gym, you got to fucking do it. Because the more that you compromise on that, you're damaging your own self-worth, your own integrity, which is going to lead to a ton of other problems. That's single-handedly been one of the biggest things that have changed my entire life over the last couple of years. And I challenge you to implement that into your life, because watching this or listening to this without implementation is a waste of time. So please do that for yourself. Do that for me. Take action on it. Continue to push forward. I believe in you. Keep showing up. Have faith in the process. Have some fun with it too. Have some fun with it. Smile, laugh. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Embrace it. Keep showing up. Let's fucking go. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all we had. Yo, I kind of went off a little bit. Can we get some emojis in the comments if you guys are still here with me live? Matt Butali, yo, I appreciate you. Janice, what is going on? I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. IG, it only has the freaking number on it. So if you guys are still here, drop some fucking comments, drop some emojis. Honestly, kind of snapped on that one, but I'm getting close on time. I have a couple applications to go through here for my private coaching program. So I got to wrap this up, guys, and then I have to go meet with my editor as well, because I'm launching my YouTube channel as I finish up this prep. So as always, hope you guys have the best night of your entire lives. I'm signing off. Peace, love, and protein. Talk soon. Boom. That was a good one. Let's go. Talk to you guys. Hit me up. Peace out. Peace. Peace. Love y'all.